In 2014, YES was understood as a non-party political mass movement of every person in Scotland willing to vote yes for independence. So, the vast majority of the YES movement was made up of normal voters, not activists like you and me, who were only the local campaign leadership of that movement. Since then, that YES mass movement has been effectively reframed by our opponents as consisting only of the diehards, as the small activist minority that refuses to accept the democratic result of the 2014 vote. This reframing began as soon as we allowed a mass movement of normal voters to be counted in terms of YES activists joining political parties after the no vote. Strategically, this has had three catastrophic consequences for YES as a mass movement. First, it allowed the political establishment to renumber the movement as 140,000 YES activists that joined political parties after the no vote, rather than the 1.6 million YES voters who still wanted independence. Even worse, as more and more of that 140,000 drift away from party membership in frustration, the media renumbering continues, reducing public perception of YES further with every gleeful report of falling party memberships. Secondly, it changed the perception of YES from a new countrywide non-party political movement demanding Scotland's democratic right to self-determination into one of a party politically motivated force used to win power for pro-indie parties at UK elections. UK politics as usual. Third, this encouraged the independent supporting parties to assume ownership of what had previously been acknowledged and understood by everyone as a strictly non-party political movement, all parties and none. Party political leaderships then focused on fighting amongst themselves for their share of the yes vote, rather than on unifying and growing the wider movement around Scotland's democratic deficit and our right to decide. Our aim today is to revisit these strategic blunders and work together on practical ways to reframe YES back to what it has always been, a mass movement of all those who want independence for Scotland. To achieve this, we come from the starting point of the non-activist, from the non-politically aware, from the non-committed but already convinced independent supporter. These folks are already the majority out there. They are already regularly polling around 53%. Indie is already Scotland's majority view, with yes support at the highest it's ever been in anybody's lifetime. Yet, the current yes activist movement feels at its most tired and divided. How can this contradiction be true? How can activists be so demoralised when, outside the activist bubble, support for indie is spectacular? Well, it's because all that non-party political indie support is being purposely ignored, hidden from view and continually divided by party politics and its endless electoral cycles. Divided by policies, personal politics and the social outlooks of us, the activists, and our preferred leadership organisations. Activist division cannot be avoided. It's just a natural part of any movement that's required to shelter the diverse political outlooks found in a normal nation. Diversity is normal. In 2014, it was our movement's greatest strength. However, that collective perception of unity got exposed when, after the no vote, Yes HQ was closed and party politics moved in. Without the external pressures of an indie vote to override our political differences and define us all on the same side, the idea of restoring unity by compromising our beliefs under a single yes leadership is no longer viable. It's already been tried and failed many times since 2014. Unity can only be found where it already exists, not in our differing leaderships, as they embody our movement's celebrated diversity, and they do that very well. No, our unity is in a shared belief in Scottish independence. Once the simplicity of this truth is understood, all that's required is a practical method of expressing it. Our practical proposal for this shared method of self-expression is simple. A live, non-party political count of all independent supporters in Scotland. A national YES registry. Our aim is simple but massive. It is to find, register and network our already existing majority indie support. Concentrate on getting the normal, non-active, pro-indie YES supporter counted and registered, independent of party politics and social outlook. If you support indie, get counted.